Indecision, your secret weapon to control anyone. The hidden power of calculated hesitation. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful leaders in history never responded immediately? While everyone expected quick decisions, they remained silent, observing, calculating. This wasn't weakness, it was pure strategy. The indecision you fear so much might be your most lethal weapon. Think about it. When you don't decide immediately, you force others to reveal their true intentions. They start negotiating with themselves, offering more than you would ever ask for. It's like being an experienced poker player, keeping your cards close to your chest while your opponents show theirs. Power Law 3 teaches us, conceal your intentions. Indecision is the perfect manifestation of this law. When you hesitate, you create a fog of mystery around yourself. People can't decipher your next moves, and this makes them anxious, vulnerable. Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor of Germany, mastered this art. During crucial diplomatic negotiations, he would often delay critical decisions for weeks. His counterparts became desperate, offering increasingly greater concessions to obtain an answer. He wasn't being indecisive, he was gathering precious information and forcing others to reveal their cards. Your first practical action starts now. In your next important meeting, when someone makes a proposal, don't respond immediately. Simply say, "I need to think about this." Watch how the person will start adding benefits to the original proposal, trying to convince you. You've just experienced the power of calculated indecision. True control doesn't come from quick decisions, but from the ability to keep others in suspense. When you hesitate strategically, you take control of the narrative. People begin to revolve around you, trying to guess your thoughts, offering more value to gain your approval. The psychology behind this is ruthless. Humans are wired to seek closure, to fill empty spaces with meaning. When you deny them this satisfaction, their minds work overtime, burning precious mental energy trying to decode your silence. Meanwhile, you remain calm, collected, in absolute control. Master this principle, and you'll discover that power isn't about having all the answers, it's about controlling when and how you reveal them. Your hesitation becomes their obsession, your pause becomes their prison. If you understand the hidden power of hesitation, type strategy in the comments. Like this video if you want to master the invisible weapons of power, and subscribe to discover more secrets the powerful don't want you to know. The psychology of controlled anxiety. Indecision creates something devastating in the human mind, the compulsive need to fill the void. When you don't decide, others get trapped in a mental loop, trying to figure out what you're thinking. This anxiety becomes your most powerful manipulation tool. Think about how it works. Someone asks you an important question, and you simply pause. 5 seconds of silence. 10 seconds. The person starts squirming internally, questioning whether they said something wrong, whether they should rephrase, whether you're angry. In that moment, you've already won the psychological battle. The human brain hates uncertainty. It's programmed to seek patterns and answers. When you deny this satisfaction, you force the other person's mind to work in overdrive, spending precious mental energy trying to decipher your thoughts. They become mentally exhausted while you remain calm and in control. John F. Kennedy understood this deeply. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, he often remained silent for extended periods during critical meetings with his advisors. His apparent indecision forced each faction to present increasingly compelling arguments, revealing information they wouldn't have shared otherwise. Kennedy wasn't uncertain, he was orchestrating a symphony of revelation through strategic hesitation. The anxiety your indecision creates in others isn't accidental, it's calculated. You're planting seeds of doubt in their minds. They begin to question their own positions, to consider alternatives that favor you, to imagine scenarios where they need to please you. But there's a science behind this. When you hesitate, you activate the other person's sympathetic nervous system. Cortisol starts flowing, heart rate increases, and they enter fight or flight mode. In this vulnerable state, they make impulsive decisions, usually in your favor. Strategic indecision also reveals precious information. Observe how people react to your hesitation. Some will try to pressure you with false urgency. Others will offer additional benefits. Some will reveal information they didn't intend to share. Each reaction is a map of their real motivations. It's like being an experienced fisherman. You don't pull the rod immediately when you feel the fish biting. You let the tension build, allow it to tire itself fighting against uncertainty, until it has no strength left to resist. This technique works because it exploits a fundamental human weakness: the need for validation. When you withhold immediate approval or decision, people become desperate to win your favor. They start offering concessions, revealing weaknesses, showing their cards, all because you chose to remain silent. The beautiful irony is that your apparent weakness becomes your greatest strength. While they see indecision as vulnerability, you're actually demonstrating the ultimate form of control: the power to make others dance to your invisible rhythm. Your second practical action is to master the power of strategic silence. When someone asks you an emotionally charged question, count mentally to 10 before responding. Use this time to observe the person's body language. See how they become restless, how they try to fill the silence with additional justifications. You're witnessing the power of indecision in real action. True power isn't about having all the answers, but controlling when and how you reveal them. Calculated indecision transforms you into the conductor of a psychological symphony where others dance to your invisible baton. If you recognize the power of controlled anxiety, type control in the comments. Like if you're ready to use these psychological weapons, and subscribe to discover more secrets of mental domination. The theater of calculated vulnerability. Here's the secret few understand: well-executed indecision makes you appear vulnerable. And that's exactly where your power lies. People lower their guard when they believe you're in doubt. They reveal their true intentions, their fears, their deepest desires. Power Law 21 teaches us, play a sucker to catch a sucker. Indecision is the embodiment of this law. When you hesitate, people assume you need their help, that they're smarter, more decisive. In this moment of illusory superiority, they become careless. Imagine an experienced negotiator who, faced with a proposal, sighs deeply and says, "I don't know. This is too complicated for me." The opponent, feeling in control, begins explaining benefits, reducing prices, adding advantages. What they don't realize is that they're being manipulated by a master of strategic indecision. Lyndon B. Johnson was a virtuoso of this technique. During crucial Senate negotiations, he would often express doubts about issues he had already decided long ago. "I'm just a simple country boy from Texas," he would say, creating strategic pause. During this fabricated hesitation, other senators made concessions trying to influence the supposed Texan's decision. Indecision also creates what psychologists call the temporal scarcity effect. When you don't decide immediately, people begin to fear the opportunity might disappear. They become more emotionally invested, more willing to pay a higher price for your yes. Think about relationship dynamics. The person who's always available, who always says yes immediately, loses value. But the one who hesitates, who needs to think about it, who isn't always certain, becomes more desirable. Indecision creates scarcity, and scarcity generates desire. There's also the crucial temporal element. Your hesitation forces others to live on your timeline, not theirs. They wait for your decision, their lives suspended while you maintain control of time. Time is power, and whoever controls time controls the situation. Calculated indecision also allows you to test different scenarios without committing to any. You can launch tentative ideas, observe reactions, retreat if necessary, advance when convenient. It's like having multiple cards up your sleeve while others play with open hands. The psychological dynamic is fascinating. When you hesitate, you force others to fill the void with their own projections. They imagine you're considering complex factors they haven't perceived. Your pause becomes a blank canvas where others paint their own insecurities and desires. This technique exploits the human tendency to anthropomorphize silence. People can't stand emptiness, they must fill it with meaning. Your strategic pause becomes their mental playground, where they construct elaborate theories about your thought process, usually revealing more about themselves than about you. Modern technology has made this weapon even more powerful. In a world of instant responses, your delay in answering messages, emails, proposals, creates amplified anxiety. People become obsessed with your response, constantly checking, imagining scenarios, elevating the importance of your eventual decision. Your third practical action is to create moments of strategic vulnerability. When facing an important decision, express genuine doubts about secondary aspects while maintaining certainty about crucial points. Say things like, "I'm terrible with these technical details," while perfectly mastering the global situation. Watch how people rush to help you, revealing valuable information in the process. True mastery isn't about always knowing what to do, but making others believe you need them to decide. In this illusion of shared power, you maintain absolute control. If you understand the theater of calculated vulnerability, type theater in the comments. Like this video if you recognize the power of strategic weakness, and subscribe to master more invisible weapons of control. The final art of silent dominion. Supreme indecision isn't about not knowing what to do, it's about making others believe your decision depends on them. When you master this art, you transform every interaction into a web where you're the spider at the center, feeling every vibration, controlling every movement. Power Law 48 reveals: assume formlessness. Indecision is formlessness personified. You adapt, shapeshift, escape rigid definitions. While others lock themselves into fixed positions, you flow like water, filling empty spaces, circumventing obstacles, finding the path of least resistance to maximum power. Franklin D. Roosevelt was a master of this final technique. During World War II cabinet meetings, he would often remain silent for hours, listening to different factions present their positions. His apparent indecision made each group believe they could influence him. In the end, he would choose elements from various proposals, creating a solution nobody had predicted, but everyone had helped construct. Everyone felt invested in the decision even when it worked against them. Supreme indecision creates what we call illusory consensus. People feel they participated in the decision because you allowed them to influence the process. They defend choices that, in reality, you orchestrated from the beginning. It's like being an invisible director, making actors believe they're improvising when they're following your script perfectly. But there's an even deeper level. Truly strategic indecision makes you appear wise, thoughtful, careful. In a world of impulsive decisions and instant responses, your calculated hesitation stands out as a mark of intellectual depth. People begin to value your opinions precisely because you don't offer them easily. The psychological dynamic is fascinating. When you hesitate, you force others to fill the void with their own projections. They imagine you're considering complex factors they haven't perceived. Your pause becomes a blank canvas where others paint their own insecurities and desires. Indecision is also a form of energy preservation. While others spend mental strength making quick decisions that might be wrong, you conserve your energy for moments that truly matter. It's like a predator that observes patiently before striking at the perfect moment. The digital age has made this weapon even more potent. In our hyper-connected world, your silence becomes deafening. When everyone expects immediate responses, your strategic delays create vacuum spaces that others desperately try to fill. They send follow-up messages, make additional offers, reveal desperation, all because you chose not to respond instantly. This technique also exploits the modern addiction to validation. In a world where people crave instant feedback, your withholding of immediate approval becomes intoxicating. They become obsessed with earning your response, your acknowledgement, your decision. Your fourth practical action is to implement the deferred decision protocol. For all non-urgent decisions, establish a standard 24-hour delay. Use this time not just to think, but to observe how others react to your pause. Collect additional information that emerges naturally when people try to influence your pending decision. The ultimate power move is making your indecision appear like profound contemplation. When you finally speak after strategic silence, your words carry weight they wouldn't have otherwise. People listen more intently, value your opinion more highly, remember your statements longer. Indecision isn't weakness when you control it. It's the supreme weapon of those who understand that true power isn't about always knowing what to do, but about making others believe their opinions shape your destiny, while you silently conduct every movement of the dance. If you've mastered the art of silent dominion, Type Maestro in the comments. Like this video if you're ready to use these advanced techniques, subscribe to discover more secrets of invisible power, and share with someone who needs to learn these crucial lessons.